You wake up and realize something's missing. Something that used to happen automatically every morning without you even thinking about it. Morning erections. They used to be so regular, you almost took them for granted. Maybe even found them inconvenient at times. But now, nothing. You can't remember the last time you woke up with one. And if you're like most men, you've been wondering what that actually means. Is it testosterone? Is it age? Is it circulation? The answer involves all three, but they're all connected to one underlying issue that most men never consider. Your prostate is changing in ways you can't see or feel directly. And the disappearance of morning erections is often the earliest warning sign that something significant is happening. This isn't just about one symptom, it's your body's way of telling you that a system is under stress. And understanding what that system is and why it matters could be the difference between addressing this early or watching it progress into something much more difficult to reverse. Here's what most men don't understand about morning erections. They're not random. They're not just about being young. They're actually a precise health indicator that tells you whether specific systems in your body are functioning properly. During the night, your body goes through multiple sleep cycles. During REM sleep, which happens several times throughout the night, your nervous system triggers erections as a test of vascular and neurological function. It's an automatic system check. When everything is working correctly, you wake up with an erection because you happen to wake during or right after one of those REM cycles. But when those morning erections stop happening, it means one of two things. Either your REM sleep is being disrupted, so you're not completing those cycles properly, or the mechanisms that create erections aren't responding to the signals anymore. And in men over 50, both of those issues are almost always connected to the same root cause: prostate enlargement and inflammation. Here's how this works. When your prostate enlarges, which happens gradually for most men after 50, it creates several cascading effects. First, it presses on your bladder, which causes you to wake up multiple times during the night. Those nighttime bathroom trips pull you out of deep sleep repeatedly. You never complete full REM cycles because you're constantly being interrupted. No complete REM cycles means no REM-triggered erections. So the first reason morning erections disappear is simply because your sleep architecture has been destroyed by prostate-related bladder pressure. But there's a second mechanism that's even more direct. Your prostate sits surrounded by the blood vessels and nerves that control erectile function. When it's inflamed and enlarged, it physically compresses those structures. The blood vessels can't dilate as fully as they need to. The nerves can't transmit signals as efficiently as they should. So even if your brain sends the signal during REM sleep to initiate an erection, the compressed vessels and disrupted nerves can't execute it properly. The hardware is being squeezed by the swollen prostate tissue. And there's a third factor that connects everything. Chronic prostate inflammation triggers systemic stress responses in your body. Your cortisol levels stay elevated to deal with the ongoing inflammation. Elevated cortisol directly suppresses testosterone production, and testosterone is essential for the entire erectile mechanism to function properly. Lower testosterone means weaker signals, reduced response, and fewer spontaneous erections, including morning ones. So you've got three interconnected problems, all stemming from prostate issues. Your sleep is disrupted, so you're not hitting REM. Your blood vessels and nerves are compressed so they can't respond properly. And your testosterone is being suppressed by chronic inflammation. All three of these make morning erections impossible, even though everything might have worked fine just a year or two ago. This is just educational information to help you understand the mechanism. It's not a diagnosis, but recognizing that morning erections are a health indicator and understanding what their disappearance signals helps you know that this isn't just about age or bad luck. This is about a specific issue that can be addressed. Now, here's what typically happens when men notice this change. Most assume it's just getting older and there's nothing to be done. They don't connect it to prostate health. They don't realize it's an early warning sign, so they ignore it. And months or years go by where the underlying prostate inflammation continues to worsen. The sleep disruption intensifies. The compression on blood vessels increases. The testosterone suppression deepens. And what started as just missing morning erections eventually progresses to difficulty with erections during intimate moments too. Here's the progression if this goes unaddressed. Your prostate continues to enlarge. Inflammation persists. You wake up more frequently at night, so sleep quality deteriorates further. The compression on blood vessels and nerves intensifies. Testosterone levels drop more significantly, and erectile function in general starts declining. What was just morning erections being absent becomes inconsistent performance during the day. Firmness decreases, maintenance becomes difficult, and eventually achieving any reliable erectile function becomes a real challenge. This is what urologists see constantly. Men come in concerned about erectile difficulties, but when they trace the timeline back, they realize morning erections disappeared months or even years earlier. That was the early warning sign. The body was already communicating that the prostate was under stress and affecting the entire erectile system. But because that signal wasn't recognized and addressed, the problem became more deeply entrenched. So what actually reverses this? The only approach that addresses all three mechanisms simultaneously is comprehensive support for the prostate itself. When prostate inflammation decreases, several things happen together. The tissue size reduces slightly, so the upward pressure on your bladder eases. When that pressure decreases, nighttime urination becomes less frequent. When you're not waking up every 2 hours, you can actually complete REM sleep cycles. When REM sleep returns, the natural nighttime erections that happen during those cycles can occur again. At the same time, when the prostate tissue shrinks and inflammation reduces, the compression on surrounding blood vessels and nerves decreases. Blood flow improves. Nerve signaling becomes more efficient. The physical obstruction that was preventing proper erectile response starts to clear. And when you address the systemic inflammation, cortisol levels normalize and testosterone production can recover. The hormonal environment that supports all sexual function begins to restore itself. This requires a complete approach. Anti-inflammatory compounds that reduce swelling in prostate tissue, ingredients that support healthy blood flow throughout the pelvic region, natural support for testosterone production and hormonal balance, antioxidants that help cells recover from oxidative stress. When all of these work together, you're giving your body what it needs to reverse the cascade of problems. Results are gradual, but follow a clear pattern. Most men notice changes starting around week 4 to 6. The first thing many report is sleeping longer stretches without waking. Then they notice morning erections starting to return occasionally. Not every day at first, but a few times a week. Over the next several weeks, they become more frequent and more firm. By 8 to 12 weeks, many men report that morning erections have returned to something close to what they remember from years earlier. And with that return comes improved erectile function during intimate moments as well. Expectations need to be realistic. This is foundational repair, not pharmaceutical override. It takes time. Results vary based on how severe the prostate enlargement is, how long the issue has been developing, and how consistently the approach is followed. But the pattern across thousands of men is remarkably consistent. Support the prostate comprehensively, and the body can restore function that seemed permanently lost. The alternative is allowing this to continue, and the reality is that prostate issues don't stabilize on their own. They progress, the inflammation deepens, the compression worsens, the testosterone suppression becomes more severe, and what's just missing, morning erections now, can become significant erectile dysfunction that affects your confidence, your relationship, and your overall quality of life. Taking action. While this is still an early warning sign, gives your body the best opportunity to reverse the damage before it becomes deeply embedded. In the description below, there's a link explaining a comprehensive natural approach that addresses all three mechanisms discussed here. Sleep restoration, circulation improvement, hormonal balance. When the prostate is properly supported, morning erections often return as a natural result. If this described your experience, if you've noticed this change and wondered what it means, that link is your next step. Before you go, have morning erections disappeared for you? Drop a comment. Your response helps other men recognize this as a common early warning sign that can be addressed.